Some breaking news regarding a party that allegedly took place in the Downing Street garden in May of last year. Let's head to Westminster and speak to John Craig. John, this is something that Dominic Cummings, the Prime Minister's former aide, actually alluded to on Friday. Tell us more.
This is the party, indeed, that Dominic Cummings, in a blog on Friday afternoon, said should not happen. He said a senior number 10 official invited people to socially distanced drinks in the garden. A social event that should not have happened, Mr. Cummings claimed. We now know that the invitation came from Martin Reynolds. He is a senior civil servant in number 10, the principal private secretary. And two really astonishing developments this evening. First of all, an email has been leaked to ITV News, which actually reprints the invitation to the drinks. It says this, it shows the email, it says... The email says that you are invited to socially distanced drinks in the garden. It says, in view of the summer weather, he says that we are invited to drinks in the garden. Here we are, I've got it here. It says... The email says, "Hi all, after what has been an incredibly busy period, it would be nice to make the most of the lovely weather and have some socially distant drinks in the number 10 garden this evening. Please join us from 6 p.m. and bring your own booze." According to ITV News, 40 people gathered in the garden that evening eating picnic food and drinking. Crucially, they included the Prime Minister and his wife, Carrie Johnson. Now, Mr. Cummings said that that particular event, Mr. Cummings claims that he said it was wrong. He said that he and at least one other special advisor said this seemed to be against the rules, the COVID rules, and should not happen. We were ignored, says Mr. Cummings. Well, this morning, after reports at the weekend suggesting that the PM and his wife Carrie attended this event, remember this is the 20th of May, not the one we've seen photos of on the 15th of May. Listen to what the Prime Minister said today when he was asked, quite specifically, were you and Carrie Johnson at this party on the 20th of May last year?
I want to ask you about the latest allegations on Christmas parties. Did you and Carrie attend the Downing Street party that was organised by Martin Reynolds on the 20th of May?
All of that, as you know, is the subject of a proper investigation by Sue Gray.
So have you already been interviewed by Sue Gray? And if not, do you object to her questioning you again about this?
All that is subject for an interview, for an investigation by Sue Gray.
So, John, the Prime Minister neither confirming nor denying. And, of course, let's remember what the rules were. People were banned from meeting more than one person outdoors at the time.
They were indeed, yes, and I think I'm right in saying that Oliver Dowden, the Tory party chairman, had said as much that very day. Now, the Labour Party has responded with Angela Rayner saying that Boris Johnson has consistently shown he's no regard for the rules he puts in place for the rest of us. He's trying to get officials to take the fall for his own mistakes. That's in response to reports that Mr. Reynolds is going to be the fall guy for this. But he sets a tone for the way Downing Street and the rest of government operates. At the time this party took place, says Angela Rayner, key workers on the front line were working round the clock to keep us all safe. People suffered loneliness and loss in unimaginably tough circumstances, and for the majority of the country, our freedom was limited to a daily walk. She says Labour has welcomed Sue Gray's inquiry, that's the one the Prime Minister referred to, but we need confirmation this latest revelation and any other parties not yet revealed by press investigations will be covered by her probe. Now, I mentioned two startling disclosures. The second is the response from a senior government source inside number 10, which seems to suggest that Mr. Reynolds is indeed being set up as the fall guy. This is a senior government source talking about the Reynolds email, speaking to Sky News a short time ago. Reynolds' job was to protect staff who were looking to him to lead them through something nobody had ever done before. This is just a perfect example of how he failed at it. The public are right to be outraged that the one rule for them, one rule for us. Some people in number 10 felt uncomfortable about it at the time, but the truth is nobody ever got to grips with working in number 10 while the rest of the country were made to work from home. Reynolds did not protect people from the spread of COVID in the building, and he and others didn't think through the consequences of those actions. He was in charge of it all. He has to be held accountable for it. That is a senior government source speaking, one would assume, with the authority of the Prime Minister, given the explosive nature of that attack on Mr Reynolds from the very heart of Downing Street. It seems inconceivable that Mr Reynolds can survive in his job and that he will perhaps be out of a job by the end of the evening. That is despite number 10 saying earlier today he's not going. Huge pressure on a senior Downing Street civil servant. Looks like he is going to have to carry the can for this. But now we have the confirmation of the invitation to Downing Street civil servants. After what has been an incredibly busy period, it'd be nice to make the most of the lovely weather and have some socially distanced drinks in the number 10 garden this evening. Please join us from 6 p.m. and bring your own booze. 40 people gathered in the garden. Well, the Prime Minister now has more explaining to do. Up to now, he's saying it's up to Sue Gray, the senior civil servant who's investigating this, to carry out her inquiry. But he has not denied in the little exchange we've just heard that he and his wife were there. This piles pressure on the Prime Minister. It does look as though at the top of the Downing Street machine, they do seem to be putting the blame fairly and squarely on a civil servant, Martin Reynolds. His position this evening looks precarious. Could well be that by the end of the evening, he will have at least offered his resignation and quite likely have it accepted as well.